Hey, Tubies. This is Bob Hickman. It is so good to be back with you. Well, I told you guys every day in November we are having a video. So we're going to do that. For those of you who are new here, yesterday I posted horoscopes and I covered all 12 zodiac signs for the month of November. So if you haven't seen that, check out the video. It's right before this one. I'm keeping all my videos in chronological order. Well, anyways, I'm glad you're here. And throughout this month, as I said, we're going to be doing a lot of videos. We're going to have a lot of different things. We're going to talk about Wicca. We're going to talk about spirits, how to get in touch with your psychic self. We're going to have some seances. We're going to have a little bit of everything. And today I thought we'd start. I just wanted to come and talk to you about one of my favorite Wiccan tools, and that is the wand. Many of you have seen me carry my big staff here. You've seen this. When I oftentimes come on, I wear it, carry it with me when I'm wearing my robes. And the staff is actually a form of a wand. It's basically a giant wand. So I sometimes use this to cast spells or cast my circle. And so you can think of the staff as a wand. Isn't that wonderful? And I thought, to get into this, we'd have a little bit of a definition of wands. So I wanted to read to you just a little bit of information here, and then we're going to talk about some different types of wands. This is taken from Scott Cunningham's book, Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. Now, this is an older edition. The cover's different. This one's the one from the original one from the 80s, which I got recently, and I love it. It's a collector's item these days, these original ones. But anyways, I thought we'd have just a little reading here about the wand. And this is taken again from Scott Cunningham's Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. I really recommend you guys get this book. Okay, so this is what Scott has to say about the wand. He says, the wand is one of the prime magical tools. It has been utilized for thousands of years in magical and religious rites. It is an instrument of invocation. The goddess and god may be called to watch the ritual with wands, with words and an uplifted wand, It is also sometimes used to direct energy, to draw magical symbols or a circle on the ground, to point toward danger while perfectly balanced on the witch's palm or arm, or even to stir brew in the cauldron. The wand represents the element of air to some Wiccans and is sacred to the gods. There are traditional woods used for the wand, including willow, elder, oak, apple, peach, hazel, cherry, and so on. Some Wiccans cut it the length from the crook of the elbow to the tip of the forefinger, but this isn't necessary. Any fairly straight piece of wood can be used. Even dowels purchased from hardware stores work well. And I've seen beautifully carved and painted wands made from these. New Age consciousness and merchandising has brought the wand into renewed prominence. Delightful, beautiful creations fashioned of silver and quartz crystals are now available in a wide range of sizes and prices. These certainly could be used within some Wiccan ritual, though wooden wands have a longer history. Don't worry about finding the ideal wand at first. One will come to you. I used a length of licorice root as a wand for a while and had good results with it. Any stick you use will be infused with energy and power. Find one that feels comfortable and it'll do just fine. I love this book. The way he writes, it's so down to earth, and it makes Wicca really, really accessible to everybody. Well, I thought I would show you some of my wands here today. Now, interestingly, in that he talked about the traditional length of the wand, and it was from the elbow up to the top of the hand. And this one, I actually just bought it I didn't actually plan this way, but it actually matches pretty close to traditional measurements. So as you can see, from the tip of my finger down to my elbow. This is in history the traditional size for a witch's wand. Now, You know, as I said, I have also my big staff. So this can also be a wand. And you can have a wand smaller. You know, I've seen some wands that are just little, but they work well because people feel connected to them. And I think that's the most important thing is you want to feel connected to your magical tools. I love the wand. I tell you, I use the wand actually pretty much exclusively now. When I first started in the craft, I used to use the athame, which is the ritual knife, and I will do a video on that as well. But I actually feel more comfortable with the wand. I feel it has a longer history, and I think that it's just more in harmony with nature. Now I'm going to show you some of my wands here, my wand collection. This is a fascinating wand. I had this shipped over from Ireland. Very simple, plain. But this is made of what is known as bog wood. It came out of a property. A guy in Ireland was kind of, cleaning up his land, and he has bog, like a bog area. It's kind of like a marshy, swampy sort of ground. And he was pulling tree roots that were stuck in the property that were coming up, and he pulled out roots to clear the area. And the interesting is this bogwood, some of it is over 2,000 years old. And this actually comes from a piece that he estimated to be about 2,000 years old. And it's interesting because it's a very, very hard wood. It's not actually petrified wood, but it's kind of like the stage before being petrified. So it's very, very hard and durable. And as you can see, it's a deep, dark black color. It's all natural. But that's a very fascinating one. So it's actually 2,000 plus year old wand. That's got some energy behind it. I tell you, I'd be careful when I point that anywhere. Well, where I live, and this is some of the things I want to tell you guys. Try to think about what is natural to where you live. I would encourage you not to go cutting a branch off a tree. I know a lot of Wiccan books say go take a knife and under the full moon cut a branch. Well, trees, I believe, have spirits and consciousness, and I think that's directly injuring a tree. Yeah, the tree will probably survive, but how'd you like if somebody cut off one of your fingers? Yeah, you'd survive, but wouldn't be pleasant now, would it? And so I actually made a choice to choose all of my wands from either branches that fall, or I live near a river, and I actually get driftwood that comes in. And whenever there's a storm, anybody who lives along water will tell you, it uproots trees and trees go into the water. And over time it wears down and you get some wonderful driftwood. And so most of my wands are actually driftwood. So this is one of my treasured ones. Interesting, this is also, I picked it up literally out of the ground. And it's pretty close to being the traditional length of the arm, elbow to the finger. When I picked it up, and this one I haven't done a thing to. If you get really fine driftwood, if it's truly been soaked a long time and weathered, it will be smooth as silk. And this one I haven't done a thing to except consecrate it. So there's one of my driftwood wands. Here's another one. This is a little longer one, but I love it as well. Beautiful driftwood. This one's wonderful, particularly when I'm casting a circle. If I don't want to carry my full staff, I need something a little larger. Wonderful wand. Some of you are going to say, well, Bob, does the size of the wand matter? No, really, because the wand is simply a vessel to channel and to focus energy. So the size of the wand, can be small, large, medium, but it's your consecration of it and your intent. Here's another wand that I love. Most all of my woods are driftwoods, and they actually come from oak and maple, which are kind of the predominant trees in my area. Now, you may live in an area where you have different woods, and you're going to say, well, Bob, I live in an area where it's all, poplar trees, or it's all, some other type of tree. Can I use that? Absolutely. Now, historically, traditionally, the different woods do have different meanings, such as, like, for example, if you're doing a protection spell, you might want to use an oak wand because oak is for power and protection. And if you're doing a love spell, you might want to use a cherry wand because that wood deals with matters of the heart. So, I don't really hold hard and fast to that. I do think there's truth in that. But I also know that any wood that you use with the right intent and focus will work. This is a wand I bought several years ago. This was actually made by a Wiccan practitioner. And they carved into it the rune algiz for me. This is actually made, I believe it's willow wood. And they put down here the Aquarius symbol, which is my sign. Isn't that beautiful? This is actually, this is probably about 15 years old. But I love it, and I cast spells. And as you can see, that's a much thinner wand than this one. See the size? That's a thick one, it's a thin one. Is this one more powerful? No, not necessarily. I've done amazing spells and had wonderful experiences with this one. So, you know, for all you guys out there who worry, does size matter? Not really. Anyways, now another type of wand that some people use is a pitched wand, a dual force, like a pitchfork, a V shape. In Wicca, this is called a stang, and usually these are large. This one's kind of big. They're usually like a large staff, and this can be used either for walking and hiking if you have a large one, and it also is used as a sign of the altar. So if you're outside and you don't have, for example, an ability to set an altar, many times if you have a stang, what you do is you put it in the ground, and you might drape some sacred symbols, a pentacle or a scarf or anything, you know, leaves. You would drape and decorate the stang, and it represents sacred place, a sacred space, and makes the whole area sacred. So the stang is a staff, which is also a type of wand, and also a marker of sacred space. So you might want to look up the traditional use of the stang, S-T-A-N-G. So that's another type of wand. You know, there are so many wands, and the thing that you want to do is when you get a wand, you know, literally pick it up, feel it. Does it talk to you? You know, maybe you feel like it needs some ornamentation and you want to decorate it, carve images in it, runes you could carve in it, or pentagrams, or even put your name on it. In the old days, many witches would name their tools. So they might call this William the Wand, and they would put the name William on it so that the wand would be named. So maybe you want to name one of your tools. So many different things you can do with that. But, you know, I want you just to know that the wand is a wonderful traditional tool. It's one of what we call the 4 traditional tools, which are the wand, the chalice, the pentacle, and the athame. And we're going to actually do videos on all 4 of the sacred traditional tools. So today we're just touching in on the wand. And now I don't have here in my collection, but there also, as the book mentioned, there are wands that are made from metal. You can have wands made of copper, wands made of silver. As I've seen people take copper pipe and they inlay crystals into it or glue stones on it and feathers and crystals. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that's fine too. Now, interestingly, as we're talking about, this book agrees with what I say, that the wand is a tool of air. Some books will tell you that the wand is the tool of fire and that the athame is the tool of air. And some reverse it, saying the athame is the tool of fire and the wand is the tool of air. I tend to think of the wand as the element of air, because tree branches move in the wind and they're very influenced by the wind. The wind breaks them, they move them through the air. So I feel that they resonate with air. Now you may say, well, Bob, I've always felt fire come out of my wand. It's fire, and that's okay too. There's really no one way, because remember, the energy that channels through the wand is the energy that you bring, and it's through your connection with the elements that make the wand the powerful, blessed item that it is. Okay, so I just want to share that with you today and give you some ideas about wands. Now, if you wanted to consecrate your wand, it's very simple. You can do a blessing over the wand and just simply ask the spirit to be present. I always invoke the spirits of air. So for example, I'd take my wand and I would lay it on my altar, and you know, I might put it on the pinnacle, or sometimes I'd actually hold the wand because I'm working with the element of air. I'd actually hold it in the air. You can do different ways. And I would simply say, spirits of air, we welcome you this day. Please accept this tool, this instrument of power, and may you work through it. So mote it be. And that's a wonderful consecration. You see, and sometimes I'll just take a little, you know, oil and then consecrate the wand to bless it, or a little water. However you want. You know, this is the wonderful thing. Make your practice yours. If a book says do something and you're reading the book and you're like, I don't feel connected to that, change it. Make it your way. That's the wonderful part of Wicca, is that there's a lot of room for self-exploration, self-expression. Also, if you are saying, well, say, Bob, I don't live near a river, I can't find any woods, I don't know where to buy a wand, and what do I do? Well, you might want to go to Lady Angela's site. Lady Angela is the head of the Order of the Purple Cord. She's the high priestess, and I'm the high priest. And she has a wonderful store, which is the official supplier, known as RareWiccaSpells.com. She sells ritual supplies there, wands, tools, athames, chalices, pinnacles, everything you need to practice the craft. So you might want to look at Rare Wicca Spells for your tools. I buy stuff there as well, and I love it. She also has a wand blessing ritual, which I don't have in front of me. I left it across the room. But go to her. She has rituals for consecrating your tools as well, and they're wonderful, absolutely beautiful. Anyways, I'm so glad you guys are here. I hope this has been of some interest to you. I love sharing my sacred tools with you. And if you haven't done so already, I'd encourage you to like this video, favorite, share it with your friends. And if you want to join the Order of the Purple Cord, you can see this is our certificate. You can get this at my website, and I'll put the link below at robert-hickman.com. And you can print that out. Send me an email. Let me know of your intent to join. Then you make a purple cord for yourself to wear and print out your certificate, and you will be a member. As I mentioned, we're a little behind. I've been having some technical problems, so I am playing catch up. I have got the emails for those of you who have sent emails and said, Bob, I want to join. Don't worry, I got it, okay? You didn't get lost. I just am having trouble getting back to people. I'm still working out some website issues, but I am getting your emails. So you're in, okay? Don't worry. We're going to get you in. We'll get you official notice that you're in too, okay? But I'd love you all to join the Order of the Purple Cord. Now, some of you are saying, Say, Bob, I'm not a full-fledged Wiccan yet. I don't know. Am I allowed to join? Yes. We are going to teach from a Wiccan perspective. And so we ask that you be open to that and that you abide by the Wiccan Rede, which is harm none. So we do know black magic. We don't do curses. So if you can agree to our rules, even if you're not a full-flown, initiated, dedicated Wiccan, you can come and join and learn with us. And in time, you may choose to embrace the craft as your personal path in life. We're very liberal, very open, very tolerant. We don't force you to adhere to everything we say. We want you to learn and to grow. And that's what the craft is about. So if you're curious and you're not sure you're ready to fully be a Wiccan, but you want to be part of the order, we can allow that, just as long as you agree by the Wiccan Rede. Okay, that's all we ask. So I'm so glad you're here. And you know, for those of you who have been asking, say, Bob, I want to learn more stuff. Well, you might want to check out my books. You can get these also at my website. There's a link there. This is Psychic Bob's, kind of got some glare here, Psychic Bob's Book of Spells. That's a book that I have on magic that I've written. That's little spells you can do. If you want to learn about working with spirit, this is Messages from Rose, one of my other books. That's a picture of my spirit guide, Rose. Isn't she wonderful? Messages from Rose. And also, this is one that I think a lot of you like, Ouija Mysteries, the Spirit Board Seances. And so all of these books, and I have more. These are just a few of my books. But you can get all of these at robert-hickman.com. Just click on the link to the bookstore, and you'll see, click on any book image, it'll take you to the store, and you can purchase these. So, you know, I would love for you to take some time, you know, get the books. I think they're helpful. I wrote them to be a tool for people, and I think that you will enjoy them. I get a lot of good feedback from everybody who's bought them, and it's a real blessing to have them out there to share with you. So anyways, guys, tell me below, do you work with the sacred wand? What has been your experience? Have you ever consecrated a wand? What's your favorite type of wood for a wand? Tell me your thoughts about the wand below. I'd sure love to hear it. I'm so glad you guys are here. Listen, keep it here. Tomorrow, we got another video coming, and I think tomorrow we're going to do a trance channeling session. So you don't want to miss that. We're going to have a trance session, a seance, and let the spirit come through. So be here on Saturday for that. Blessings to you all.